Lakeside Dental Clinic, Go Island, is brought to you by Lakeside Dental Clinic.
The new Nanaimo City Council sat for their second council meeting on Monday night. Today on Go Island, we have some highlights. Where to attend school based on a dance program. Dan Kahn has some thoughts on Oak Bay's looming deer cull and a brand new clue for Todd and Derek. Monday night's Nanaimo City Council meeting started with a bit of a ceremonial tone. Nanaimo Mayor Bill McKay presented a Civic Merit Award for Arts and Culture to Ms. Margot Holmes from the Vancouver Island Symphony. That was followed by a presentation from Nanaimo's Poet Laureate. Her name is Naomi Beth Walken, and she welcomed in the new council, and I'm told that her tone for the poetry this year will be cheeky. So that should be entertaining. When their school closed, Cedar secondary school students had to choose between attending Ladysmith or John Barsby. And the deciding factor for some of those students focused around a dance program. Here's Kelly Robinson. And just a side note there, Kelly Robinson is pretty proud. Kaylee is her niece. There was a regular city council meeting on Monday night, January the 19th. Up for discussion that sort of evoked quite a lot of discussion was the topic of cultural grants. What was that all about?
It's about investing in these groups, giving them some seed money to put on some of these festivals. It's almost like a sponsorship, to be quite honest with you.
And so if it's an investment, you want to make sure there's going to be some return on that investment.
And I think that when we look at some of the statistics that we're seeing on those investments, when it spurs activity in restaurants and downtown, that's exactly what it's all about.
There are some changes right now with how the grants are being issued, and there's some workshops coming up, I think.
They're coming up on Wednesday, actually. Okay. And I look forward to attending at least one of those sessions to find out more about it so that you've got a more intimate knowledge of it.
Excellent. Now, there was one grant that was turned down. Empire Days. That name is no longer politically correct enough. Is that correct?
Well, let's first of all, we didn't turn it down. They're going to. We've sent our staff back to have a conversation with them about it. That it's a word, the word empire, and that's a very strong word. It's a powerful word, and justly so. It causes some significant angst in the community by some of our citizens.
Okay. Now, the applicants to that grant, do they seem to understand where the concern is?
I think they've been working on this for some time, and they're well aware of some of the community's concerns about that.
Excellent. Okay, lots of information available on cultural grants and events grants online. City of Nanaimo website will give you all the details on that. We're going to take a short break. We're going to see how things are settling in for you as the new mayor of Nanaimo. We're going to have a conversation as well about a bridge to Gabriola after a short break. Still to come today, Dan Kahn with thoughts on Oak Bay's plan to cull some deer, and Todd and Derek face a whole new challenge in Clocked.
Hi, I'm Paul Wynn. I'm a member of the Nanaimo African Heritage Society. Did you know that there were 4 major black politicians in the history of British Columbia, starting with Governor Douglas in 1858, and then followed by Mifflin Wistar Gibbs, who was a candidate at the Yale Convention, which made the decision to bring British Columbia into Confederation. Following that, in more modern times, was Emery Barnes, who became the Speaker of the House, and Rosemary Brown, who became the first black woman elected to the BC legislature.
And did you know that February is Black History Month? It's a national initiative, and there are events being organized locally by the Nanaimo African Heritage Society. They're working on some final details for more than 7 events that they have planned. You can stay tuned here to Channel 4 for more details to come in the coming days and weeks. Sometimes you can get more than what you pay for. In the case of some students at School District 70, that's up in Port Alberni, you get more than you signed up for. Nancy Wilmot looks into that with a woodworking program at a school in Port Alberni. Some discussion, Bill, at Monday night City Council meeting about an urban Aboriginal affordable rental facility across from the Quarterway pub on Bowen Road.
I dare you to say that 5 times really fast.
I don't think I could. I don't think I could. What's that all about?
This is something that the Nanaimo Aboriginal Centre is proposing for a site that right now is being held for a low barrier housing unit. The site's currently under contract to BC Housing, so it's a very interesting concept, and I'd like to hear more.
I know this was your second City Council meeting. There were a committee of the whole meeting in between there. How are you settling in? How are you feeling?
Last night felt good. I can feel myself getting stronger. When I say that, it's I'm amongst a bunch of very strong-willed and determined people, and that can.
And
be
you fit right in there, right?
It can be a little bit intimidating, to be quite honest with you.
I can imagine.
So trying to manage a meeting like that with all the diverse individuals can be challenging, and I got to say that I'm feeling better about it. The meetings are going a little bit smoother. An inch at a time.
And now people talk about a honeymoon phase. Have you experienced it? Are you experiencing one?
Do you know what? I really believe that that 4 years from now, I'm still going to be in the honeymoon. I feel like I'm, on cloud 9 right now.
Right.
I love this job.
Excellent. Okay, now I know it's come up in the past. Deer cull. Do you think that's going to hit the table for discussion soon?
Oh my goodness, I don't know what's worse, the deer cull or licensing cats. Which one's going to be more politically charged? Maybe we should license the deer.
I think we should license the deer. Adopt a deer, save one, $25. So that, anyways, we're sort of getting off topic. This is all leading into Oak Bay. The municipality of Oak Bay down in Victoria is going ahead with a deer cull, and Dan Kahn has some thoughts on that. When I've heard talk about a bridge to Gabriola, I've never taken it very seriously. I thought it was a little bit of an urban legend or pie-in-the-sky ideas, but it's coming up on council agendas. So this is potentially something that could happen in the future?
Absolutely.
And it comes, out of Cable Bay? Tell me about where things are at.
No, well, where it's actually going to physically go through, it would probably be right on the dividing line of Cable Bay, I would think.
Okay.
And Joan Point Park.
And then it goes to Gabriola and then potentially over to Vancouver? No, okay.
Well, I mean, there's where the debate is. It's some people believe it was intended to be perhaps a 2-lane bridge that hops across Dodds Narrows and across Mudge, and then across False Narrows to Gabriola for the purpose of replacing the ferry. Okay. There's that thought. Then there's always this hidden idea out there that it may very well be a 4-lane superhighway bridge. Anytime I've ever seen bridges versus ferries, ferries have always won out, to be quite honest with you. Bridges are very expensive structures to build.
Right.
So I think at this point they're doing their feasibility. I think all we wanted to do at council was to just let them know that we really don't want a significant interruption in our park, and make sure that you consult us about that.
And you were asked to write a letter to BC Ferries expressing that?
BC Ferries and the government, yes.
Okay, and you didn't write that letter because it was done by the previous mayor, and there's no need for that?
His concerns were out there. The motion that was on the table last night for reconsideration was in fact defeated. There's some concern on by some members of council that they really don't want to ruffle the feathers of the province at this point. Mm-hmm. Let them do their work and get back to us, and we'll have a conversation then. Mm-hmm.
My brain's turning. And maybe we don't want to get into the cost of what it would be to build a bridge, but over the long term, it's maybe not more expensive than running a perpetual ferry service. And there's the debate again, right?
It's really hard to say. There was a bridge across a river up in the interior somewhere that I went to look at one time. The ferry used to cost about $200,000 a year to operate. It was just a little reaction cable ferry. They replaced it with a bridge they thought was going to cost $20 million. By the time they were finished, it was $40 million. At $200,000 a year, think how long you could run that ferry versus the cost of that bridge. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
So I guess there's 2 options right now. It's either going to be talked about forever, and it's never going to go away, or we'll have a bridge.
One or the other.
One or the other.
One or the other.
We're going to throw things over now to Todd Jones and Derek Johnstone. It is a brand new, spanking new edition of Clocked. Yes, we stumped them. Finally, I can't remember the last time they didn't have time left on the clock. Black History Month is coming up in February, and now you know more about Emily Stark. If you'd like to know more about what went down at the most recent City Council meeting, it's all on the website, www.nanaimo.ca. Thanks for watching Go Island. We'll see you next time.
Lakeside Dental Clinic Go Island is brought to you by Lakeside Dental Clinic, a division of the Vancouver Island Implant Centre, delivering dental services, including dental implants and sedation dentistry, all under one roof. Clothing supplied by Catwalk Fashions. Kate's Hair and Aesthetics provided by Maffeo Salon.